Good morning, everybody. This is my live reaction. I have not read literally any of this. I just woke up and I'm looking like a train wreck. So hit the like button. Let's get going and let's actually see if this update's any good. We have some news from Blizzard. So Avasti Scallywag. Before we shove off, will be temporarily changed to our content update cadence. I think they mentioned this before. Our third major update is approaching soon. And to prepare, we will not release a major content update for 2 weeks as we traditionally have. Once the major update is released on March 30th. Okay, so this is kind of what was expected. The major update is going to be the end of March, so the next major thing, if you want to know what major updates were, it's like new zones, new storyline, maybe new classes, new game modes. We've even had set item crafting was a minor to give you an idea, but class change was a minor as well. So we're expecting bigger things out of the major updates, okay? Just to give you an idea of what the difference between major and minor is. This is a minor, there's a major again at the end of the month, and it seems like they're releasing this major after the Diablo 4 beta. I think they want people to probably play D4 beta, release it right after is what it kind of seems like. Let's continue here. Lord of Terror, so daylight savings time, what is this? The North American European servers will dash forward by an hour with the upcoming major update. Okay, so we have daylight savings time, no big deal. April 12th, the server time for Oceania. Okay, so none of this really matters. Server maintenance is going to be happening tomorrow, comes back up at 1 a.m. This is all the normal stuff that just they say right in the beginning. But the biggest takeaway from this first paragraph, March 30th is the major update. And God, please, if that major update does not have Blood Knight or some PvP updates, I will be annoyed. I'm just going to be honest. Though, if we get Blood Knight or PvP updates with the major update, all is well in the world of DM. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. I'm going to be honest. It's about time for either of those things to arrive. Let's continue. What do we have in here? Feature updates, Adventure's Path, Fracture Plane. Okay, feature updates, hide helmet cosmetic option. So this is actually coming to the game. We talked about this on the channel before. It looked like it was data mined. There was an option for this. Looks like they are actually doing this. Highly requested. This is just quality of life. You can now hide this. It doesn't look like it's tied to any kind of monetization. This is just an additional free button. You can now hide your helmet. Thank you, Blizzard. There was not much of a point to actually customizing the face when you don't get to see them. So personally, big W. Armory optimization. Armory now allow players to choose whether to save specific items, legendary essence, gems, bonus attributes, paragon trees, and skills. Changes being made to amend a bug that occurred when players would attempt to sell or disenchant an item that was saved within a loadout. Okay, so I'm not really sure the difference here. You could already do essences, could already do gems. Bonus attributes, I'm not really sure what bonus attributes maybe they're talking about refinements and where your normal gems go. Paragon tree and skills. Okay, I feel like all of these were already there, but they say something about a bug fix when you sell or disenchant an item. Maybe this automatically uploads it. So if when you're equipping a new item, it will override it. Let's see what the next one is. New checkbox features been added to the Armory, allowing players to toggle whether specific equipment is saved to a loadout. Players can check the box to save only properties or leave the box unchecked to maintain current armor functionality. Okay, so we'll have to see how this actually works in the game. Prior to this change, the process to alter save loadout was convoluted. We wanted to not only optimize the feature, but make it operate in a fashion that best support that players play. Now it'll be much more convenient for players to retain their builds. So one of the most requested things, or not one of the most, but I did mention this several times to them, was when you have a new item, like let's say you have an upgrade for your shoulder, and obviously you're gonna make it the same shoulder, there should be an option that, hey, you're wearing a new piece of gear that's an upgrade. Do you want to add this to your armory? And you just like click yes, and then that way you don't have to constantly go back to the armory, making the armory essentially useless. So I think maybe that's what they're doing. It feels like it's not worded very well, or it's too early in the morning for me to understand this. Okay, just to be bluntly honest, but that looks like maybe that's what they're doing. Pros crafting streamlining. Yes, pros need to be buffed. I've been complaining about this. Previously visited the gem buyer. You can now craft gems with pros directly at the apprentice. Players will still need 40, so that's not actually any different. You can just craft them at the jeweler. Okay, so that's a small quality of life change. Reality is this would save you about a half a second from walking to by the craft tab. Players will still need. So previously the gem binder in Elder Rift, you can now craft. So you would only be able to craft these in the gem binder. I've literally never even crafted one for pros, so I didn't even know you could only do it in the gem binder. For some reason, I assumed you could do it at this already. This is a nothing burger of a change. Helicory raid notification setting. Through community feedback, it was brought to our attention that receiving multiple Helicory raid invites at once hides pertinent game information from the player. Now, when the player receives multiple notifications once, an indicator will point to an option in the settings menu that allows players to opt out of invitations. This should have been done forever ago. The very first right, we were all literally spammed nonstop by the opponents with raid invites, so that way it would pop up constantly in PvP and disrupt our PvP experience. It's a complete joke. I'm glad this is finally getting fixed, but this should have been fixed months ago. Hiltz Trader refresh indicator. A timer has been added to the Hiltz Trader shop menu to indicate when the stock is refreshed. Kind of nice. Again, small quality of life. I'm going to be honest, all of these are quality of life. None of these here are actual updates. These are all fairly minor quality of life. I would say the one new bit is the helmet hiding is the big W out of these. All of these are like shit that people have just been complaining about, that it's like, great, okay, we got some changes to that. But let's see what else we got. Adventurer's Path, a limited time event. In Sanctuary, few are capable enough to stand against the darkness and wager their life for the defenseless, but you, adventurer, have consigned your days to thinning out the ranks of the burning hell. The downtrodden look upon you. Walk the adventurer's path. March 8th to the 16th. Complete it. You'll earn gold, dust, scrap materials for heroes. Racking up enough completed tasks, you unlock these milestones for you. 3 tasks, 1 legendary item. Cool. 3 rare crests, 1 pearl, 1 legendary crest. Okay. So you get a couple bonus. This is basically just like another like small one of these events. New name, same face, do a couple tasks, kill a few minions, get a random legendary item, get some rare crests, get a pearl. I'm going to say this again, and literally every time one of these new ones come out, I'm always going to bitch about this. I don't care if you guys get sick of hearing it. These rewards are not enough for events. I'm just going to say it. The pearls need to be 4 pearls, 3 legendary crests, 6 rare crests. That should be what people want to see. You're not going to log into the game to get 1 pearl. No one is, okay? If they're not going to log in already, they're not going to log in when they read this event. This is the truth of it, Blizzard. We all know these rewards are not good enough. I like to see that there's constant events. That has been great. We have a constant flow of events. The reward structure is not good enough. Okay, this needs to be buffed and has been needed to be buffed since the launch of the game. And since the launch of Pearls, the Pearls have been needed to be buffed too. Okay, just my opinion on it. Also, plus there was the great data that we had on the previous video where the guy was explaining the 5-star gems aren't even the maximum damage anyway. So I don't understand why we're so worried about legendary crests going to free-to-play. Just give free-to-play legendary crests. JT is all business, said it's right. Every day you log in, you get 1 free legendary crest as a login bonus. That will make free-to-play players, that will make returning players log in just to do the gamble of it. Please give people more legendary crests. Okay, Fracture Plane coming back, big W. Everything I've seen in the patch so far, but this is repeated content. I don't care if it's repeated content. This is good repeated content, okay? This is some of the better content we have in the game. I think the reward structure got better on the last Fracture Plane, where now if you're good enough, you can get bonus sets, you can get bonus legendaries, etc. Some debate whether or not the balance of this is quite correct, but you do get to play with multiple builds throughout the launch of this. I actually just love this. I'm a shill for this event, okay? So as much as I get annoyed by these, I actually really like this event because I just think it's good, wholesome fun. Let's move on to the next one here. Season 11 Battle Pass players. Oh, hey, we got a pirate look. You know what? I wonder if the pirate look is preparing for going into the major update, which will be the 30th, and that major update going to that island. We talked about the Exile Island in one of our data mine videos, where it looks like there could be an island. I wonder if it's gonna be like a pirate island. But let's continue here. It looks like that looks pirate. Okay, there's water coming off. You got Peg Lake. Honestly, pretty awesome. Probably get that one. A Cursed Secrets limited time event. That is a great piece of art. I actually really like that art. You know, I kind of feel like, tell me if this is a hot take, but I feel like Blizzard gets carried by their art department sometimes. Like all of the art in the game, I have 0 complaints about any of the art in the game, except maybe the Season 10 Battle Pass cosmetic, if I'm being honest. All the other in the art in the game is like, dude, whoever's back there creating the art is like killing it. Like, honestly, it just looks good. Let's continue here. Sturdy Adventurers. Okay, so we have a bunch of, if you want to read the lore, you can. Beginning at level 20, adventurers can uncover the accursed secrets buried deep beneath the shifting sands and receiving rewards by logging in on specific days. So these are just login rewards, is what these are. 3 rare crests, 1 pearl, 1 legendary crest. This is basically what I was saying, which is like, hey, like, just give people login rewards. Like, give them actual login rewards. This is a somewhat extremely smaller version of what JT was talking about forever ago too. I think this type of stuff should just be consistent. Look, if it's every other day, cycle these. If this is what you're willing to do for people during the event, just have this be permanent and cycle it, where it's, okay, You come in on Monday, you get 3 rare crests. You come in on Wednesday, you get a pearl. You come in on Friday, you get a crest. And then you come in on Sunday, you get the rare crest. You come in on Tuesday, you get the pearl. You see, if it's going to be every 2 days, sure, so be it. But just give people that stuff. You know, just have that be this shouldn't be an event. This should just be like happening, basically. Let's look here. Dispatch Cursed Elites. Adventurers level 30 and higher receive a 100% additional battle pass experience while the cursed event is running. That is a low-key good. That's actually low-key pretty awesome, because 100% additional battle pass experience takes us from 972,000, I think it is, to what would that be? A 1.944 million experience per. Then I'm assuming then it gets multiplied by the Paragon bonus, basically meaning if you're behind about as much as I am, 20, 30 levels, you're waiting for the server Paragon to get close enough to Hell 8, you can grind it out. This is like a full level basically every time that you are doing the battle pass. So I actually think that's probably this for me feels less important than this. But if you're highly free to play and every legendary crest really matters, you're really going to enjoy this legendary crest. But I actually really like this part. I think that's going to help a ton. The other part to keep in mind is this is in the future after everyone can get to Hell 8. This is enough. It's 23 days in the future, 24 days in the future now. So when this starts running, then and the updates coming out, Hell 8 will be available. So people are going to be pushing towards Hell 8, which will coincide and nicely timed with this additional battle pass experience. Like that, Hungry Moon gets reran. I never read these. This is always just a waste of time to read, but it looks like maybe they changed it a little bit. So let's go ahead and read these here. Okay, so this is when it launches. Blessing of More will give you 50% bonus gold drops from dungeons or 10% damage increase while in dungeons. That's new. So they have a new blessing here, which gives you bonus gold or bonus damage for a limited time. Handy for combating masters lurking about and add extra heft to the coin purse. I do like to see some bonus gold drops being added to the game, because right now the way the farm goes is you basically just farm the vault over and over and over again. Not everyone likes to farm the vault, and not everyone likes to even use Treasure Hunter all the time in order for to get gold. So I like to see more bonus gold. That's actually nice. Blessing More supply you with 5 move servers after using it. Okay, don't mind that. We've already know the Blessing of Might, Hermit's Collection is all the same. Let's see what the 10 move servers, 3 rare crests, random set item, a pearl legendary crest. This is basically all the same. So we don't have to worry about the moon. It's just a little bit better version than it was because of the 50% bonus gold. And it looks like this is effectively running on the 30th, which is going to be directly after or coincides with 1 day of getting the bonus experience as well from the previous event. Moving forward, Contest of Knaves cosmetic looks great. Looks like it's a Argyle Court Jester type of look. All of those look pretty good. I think the wizard over here probably looks like one of the better ones. Not too bad. 1,000 orbs. Some bug fixes. We're going to open up the bug fixes and look at that. And then the dev Q&A. Let's see if any of these got updated. So let's look at the bug fixes here. No bug fixes since November. That probably isn't correct. I feel like there was more bug fixes out, but that's what this links to. And then let's look at the dev Q&A. Nothing since January. So what do we think on this patch? I'm just going to break it down real simple. A couple W's and a couple snoozes. All of the events coming out are pretty much exactly the type of events we always expect. Pretty standard stuff. The feature updates are literally quality of life. However, there is one thing that we're taking away from here. This is a filler patch because on the 30th, we're having a major update. We have not had very many of these major updates. And every time a major update does come out, they are fairly major. We get new zones, new hell difficulties, new quest lines. Like we get some pretty big stuff. I hope and I pray to God that this major update's the Blood Knight. If it's not, I will accept a PvP update. I think those are probably either people want new class so the casual person can try a new class, or people are going to want to see some PvP update for the real hardcore players. That is what I'm hoping comes on this major update. So for now, this is going to keep us entertained for the next few weeks while we're waiting on the 30th of this month to receive that major update, and then we'll go from there. And after that, we're going to do a state of the game, talk about where we think the game's at, etc. Now that we can see what the major updates are going to be like. We already kind of know what the major update's going to be, because if we look it up here, Diablo Immortal 2023, he breaks down, we've talked about this post many times, but they also say that they plan on introducing a new competitive mode, a new fishing mode, a new class, new Heliquary bosses, and they have 4 major updates. Now, the major updates are very often not quality of life like improvement to clans, probably not the in-game social features and small gameplay updates. It could be the main quest line and side quests. It absolutely could be a new competitive mode, and it absolutely could be a new class. So there are multiple things in here that could be major updates, and there are some of these that are like, no, it's not going to be that. Like, I don't think it's a new Heliquary boss is a major update. Typically, that comes with either the release of new hell difficulties or other types of updates as well. So more than likely, we're seeing a competitive mode, or more than likely, we're seeing a new class, if I had to guess. That is it for this patch. Little bit of a snoozer, but I think it's not meant to be the big one. I think we're still kind of twiddling our thumbs waiting, and this is more of a quality of life one. I like the hide helmets. I love the fractured planes coming back. I like the 100% experience buff, and those are the positives that I can find out of this patch. Love you all. See you on the next one.